Most cities I've been to are destitute of the typical forest atmosphere. However, this city offers something a little different. Today, Nick and I have the opportunity to visit the Amazon spheres, 3 spherical structures that are full of plants from all around the world, and of course, some of the most amazing planted aquariums ever. Joining us today we have Steve from Aquariums and Dean Tweedow.
What do you think, Dean?
I think it's awesome.
Isn't it cool?
And this is just a little tank.
This is a little one.
Yeah.
Upon entering, we're greeted by an eye-opening triangular aquarium, stocked to the brim with an array of interesting species.
Like, look at it. It's got like Harlowella.
Yeah.
Right there.
Look at the different flecks and see. You can see the tail.
Yeah.
Of the one.
Cactus. Is that a king tiger there too?
I believe so.
Look at that at the back.
No. That's not a king tiger, is it?
I don't know.
That's another variety.
260.
Yeah, so there's the
Queen Arabesque. Yeah.
The star of the show in this tank is a huge school of Tefe green discus.
So, Tefe greens and the Peruvian red spot greens are the same discus.
Yeah.
Just separate river systems.
Okay.
Or separate countries, actually, right? Yeah.
They did a great job keeping it going.
Even the rummies too. Like, just seeing the tetras act naturally.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much a roundabout. There's no 90-degree angles.
Yeah.
Among the discus are huge schools of different types of tetras. Patrolling the lower half, we see beautiful Bolivian rams, cories and plecos.
I think the thing I love about it is that they're all acting entirely natural for some reason.
And I gotta be honest, you're saying they're scared. They're not scared.
No, not at all.
They're not scared at all.
Yeah, like everything's acting normal.
And you said just yesterday the Bolivian rams went from Rainbow.
Crazy.
I don't imagine.
Beauty is not only showcased within the aquarium, but also above. Terrestrial plants and driftwood literally create another dimension.
The Tillandsias there. Pothos. Swiss cheese plants.
What do you think of the LED flicker?
I love it.
I mean, I don't mind it. It's kind of like more like sunlight.
I love that. Do people not like that?
There are people who hate it.
I can't understand that.
I kind of think it's cool.
Every time I've been like snorkeling, like especially in marine,
Yeah.
it looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like in somewhere it's crystal clear and
Right.
it is stunning. How big's the tank?
It's about 600 gallons. I mean, we have a pretty large sump underneath. That's probably another 150 gallons.
How many hours of work does this take a week?
Less than 2.
What?
It's actually, it's a really simple system.
Yeah.
Steve helped design, and it's just like it's running off of pool filter pumps, essentially. So this is the stuff. It was custom made for marine recreation, MRC. It's really simple. We have a central weir box overflow, which is concealed by the faux wood and rock centerpiece, which I helped design with various design out of Austin, Texas. And goes through 4 large filter socks. It's kind of the first, mechanical filtration. We're running off of pool pumps. So we have one basically sending water to the tank, and a second one that's kind of recirculating water over the biological towers in there. So guys, we have CO2 in the far left column, a bunch of heaters just
Inside there.
yeah, got about 2,400 watts of heat on this thing now. And then on the way back up to the tank, it runs through 257 watt UV stabilizers. So it's just kind of like your average aquarium, but just a lot bigger.
As big as this tank is, it really is just a simple setup behind a magnifying glass. Even the lighting is simple enough. The whole system doesn't even exceed 600 watt.
They're eco-exotic cannons.
Okay.
I think they're actually out of production, but they're just think they're roughly 100 watt each.
Yeah.
So it's not a ton of light on this tank. It's a pretty low, medium light tank. We get a little bit of natural light coming in. It's some spillage from our living wall systems, but yeah, it's pretty.
The discus in this setup love to follow you around the aquarium, probably in the hope of being fed.
They're well trained. They're ready for an afternoon snack. I feed them twice a day. So
Yeah. What do you feed them?
Bloodworms.
Just bloodworms.
Just bloodworms. Yeah, I raised them off blackworms, but they're so expensive. I had to transition to bloodworms.
And do the plants at the top, do their roots reach down underneath there?
Yeah, some of them do. So some of them are just potted plants kind of hiding on top, and some of them, like in the corners, are actual cuttings that are rooted just in the water. So we just basically hand spray the plants once a day.
Makes
Give
it
them a
easy.
little foliar fertilizer once a week. They're just feeding off of it.
That is just amazing, those discus.
Some of them are starting to show some really nice color.
Do they ever spawn?
Not yet. I think they're maybe a little young, but getting close. Yeah, there should be like I think 9 or 10 varieties of pleco at least. I mean, yeah, 3 or 4 species of Cory, the Farlowella, the Colombian whiptail catfish.
Yeah, the glass.
6 or 8 species of petra, Bolivian rams, and then discus.
The next aquarium is super unique. The way it's designed almost makes it feel like someone's taken a slice right out of a pristine creek. This aquarium is stocked with loads of beautiful species, from rainbows and barbs to the nearly impossible to see freshwater crabs.
There's a breeding population of Geosasana vampire crabs here. There's an immature one up there, it's like brown, but the adults are like orange and purple. Yeah, I might be able to find that. Do a little digging. But yeah, this tank is a Southeast Asian theme called the Stream Bank. I kind of imagine sort of like life at the margins between, the water's edge and a river bank. All sorts of. All the plants in this one are Southeast Asian, both terrestrially and aquatically. So cool varieties of begonia, orchids kind of mixed in with some creepers and mosses. And we've got a handful of rainbow fish, glass catfish, several species of barb. There's some harlequin rasboras in there. There's the black lancer catfish. Still in there. Yeah, Odessa barbs get really impressive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
But yeah, it's so funny. This tank in the morning, like when they wake up, is so active and wild. And then at this time of day, everybody's just like super calm. Like, it doesn't look like there's that many fish in here, but when they all come to the front, it's like pretty much. There's the black monster guy. Remember this? Yeah, this is really neat. There's some clown loaches in here. Black monster. He's hovering right underneath there. Underneath that log against the rock to the right. Oh yeah.
Should have brought the torch.
That would have helped.
There's another crab right there. Another one. Right on that one. Picking some stuff up. It's really, again, simple system. Just kind of like 2 drip wells feeding the aquarium. There's 2 circulating pumps kind of moving the water around, and then an overflow at the top that goes down to the sump. Much smaller filtration system, but the display itself is roughly 300 gallons of water. No CO2 on this one, but also pretty simple plant palette. Just different varieties of Java fern. There's a couple of crypts in there. It's beautiful into it.
I love the crypts growing like right to the surface.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would pop above the water. I imagine they'll flower above the water line at some point.
That would be cool.
Those were grown tissue cultures, so they were pretty slow.
Even you can see the boost. That's such a cool plant. I love boost.
Sometimes it's like, because it's close to the surface, it gets a little bit of algae, but like when you get into like just some of like the blues that are like hiding.
Yeah.
After walking through this absolutely breathtaking structure, we make our way to the final aquarium. This giant tank is hands down my favourite and easily the most amazing planted aquariumscape I've ever seen in my whole life.
Look at that.
It's
That's insane.
This is an almost 18-foot aquarium. It's roughly 550 gallons only, which is actually kind of surprising based on the length of it.
Yeah.
Display. It was kind of inspired by the Sunita aquarium. It's one of Takashi Amano's designs that has like these verdant rock formations. Obviously we're not dealing with quite the same scale here. Really, even though we did our best to clean the tank out completely, but after we took out the old scape, all of the moss you see in here, the Java fern, is all self-colonized. I didn't put a single piece of moss in this tank.
Crazy.
So I'm removing like handfuls and buckets of moss like we do pretty much. So it's evolved over time. It's been running for almost 3 years now in this configuration. It's no, biotope or anything like that. We have fish from kind of around the world, with the large, we went with a whole group of male Congo tetras, the roseline sharks, some kind of hybrid fish, constant breeding.
Yeah.
Tetras. There were 60 Corydorus atropersinotis at one point, the fairy cory. Which
Is that these ones down here?
Yeah, which I thought were kind of fun.
I love them.
Yeah.
Do they ever breed in here?
They haven't. It's been years. I remember seeing them for I don't know if they just get picked off or if it's just not quite right.
And the tetras as well. What kind of tetras did you choose?
So these are all, again, these are black emperor tetras, the same as that we had in the other building. These are all offspring that were produced from about 5 initial individuals.
That's
So
insane.
I've had like close to 1,000, I would say, produced.
1,000 just in these Amazon spheres.
Yeah, in the last few years, yeah. And then we've got the green neon tetras, ember tetras, rabios. There's a few,
Oh, the
survey,
that's it, yeah.
handful of those.
That was pretty cool. And what are the plants as well?
Yeah, so we got the Rotala H-Raw, it's kind of the pinkish plant. We have
This one up here.
got it growing here. There's Pogostemon erectus below it. Proserpiniaca palustris, the mermaid weed, kind of the frilly one.
That's a cool plant.
Yeah, that one I really like.
Me too.
And then there's some other just like pop-ups. We've got like several species of moss that all popped up from the initial design. There's Monte Carlo in here. There's
Yeah, a lot of the mosses came with the region.
oh really?
So I'm not even sure what they are.
Yeah, it's like some Christmas moss, weird moss. Yeah, there's some Physidens in there. So then there's Agrophila and Pinatifida growing. It's not a fern, but it's in there. And then there's the Pogostemon alpharai is in there. And then that's Java fern that again, I think it's just the trident form.
Yeah, that's
perhaps,
the trident.
that just popped up. Didn't plant any of that.
Yeah, that was in the original design.
It's persistent.
I used to pull up buckets of that stuff.
Yeah.
This thing is a plant growing machine.
Totally. Yeah, it's a pretty nice system. Very well designed. There's a large CO2 reactor too, which basically we can just dial in to grow whatever plants we want.
Yeah, it's a really unusual CO2 reactor.
And then the islands is the theme, like the...
Yeah, so there's kind of like 4 islands that have kind of melted together over time, but it's that Unzone stone, which is like this black lava rock with holes in it that I add aqua soil into like these little pockets, and then there's aqua soil behind the islands too. So I can grow the plants in the background.
So cool.
It's a really nice way of living them all. They're completely different systems, but we try to make them look like they're one.
There's nothing quite like this setup, and I'm so grateful to have been able to see this in person. It's truly amazing.